Welcome to One and Only, your favorite, Proverbs on Demand. Today's proverb is, after victory, tighten your helmet cord. The proverb dates from the samurai era of Japan, where the samurai in battle wore metal and leather protective helmets. These were secured to their heads by a tight helmet cord. This phrase means that one must get down to work after a victory. There is no room for complacency. You must never let your guard down even if you think you have won. Because when you think you're safe is precisely when you're most vulnerable. It is a warning to not rest on your laurels and be ready for your enemies to return. Celebrate a win in battle and you may lose the campaign. Pushing onward without re-evaluating your position can be disastrous. Your enemies in training are often fatigued and have lack of concentration. After hitting big jumpy Rs, we have to be careful that in celebration we don't push ourselves into overtraining or injury, nor neglect our weaknesses. No win is ever permanent. With victory sometimes comes arrogance. That arrogance brings with it a sense of righteousness where we think that either the end of the battle is the end or that we are somehow invincible. All warfare is based on some form of deception, misdirection or sleight of hand. Sometimes the win is just the calm before the storm or a rouse our opponents uses to gain the overall victory. In martial arts, this type of technique is a sudomae-waza or sacrifice technique. We give up something small to get something even bigger. Complacency is a known enemy. It is a challenge many face. This is not an outcome of any personality flaw or a carelessness towards commitments. Complacency makes its space when you are content with your current achievements. It happens when the work gets repetitive and there is no aspiration to go any further up. Being successful is a dream, and when one achieves success, there is a tendency to go satisfied and thus content and thus complacent. There are no more challenges now. The drive to win over others is no longer active. Once you become satisfied and give up effort to push forward, the reverse momentum picks scare. While you sit at one position, others keep pushing themselves forward. And as we all know, this is a race, where if the rabbit sleeps with complacency, tortoise will eventually take over. There are no signs or symptoms of this dangerous issue. Many people are suffering from this problem and don't even realize it. Such silent is the attack of complacency that the victim hardly realizes a blow. It is only when failure stands right in front does one realizes what has happened. In a nutshell, complacency is kind of invisible. It will come into effect and yet will not be observable. Usually it works something like this: success comes and with it comes a belief that I know it all. This I know it all attitude, or I am the most talented feel, leaves no scope for any further efforts or experimentation. The feeling of staying ahead naturally subsides. There no longer is any desperation to achieve. The individual becomes proud of the growth so far and sleeps over the current state, while others easily overtake. Or we can say, while complacency overtakes. But you must fight the complacency trap. Here are my suggestions to deal with it. First and foremost, do not take things for granted. Secondly, do not get clumsy but rejuvenate to start higher. Lastly, be careful with the company you keep. Drifting from the contentment mode to complacency act is easy, especially when success has been the result of hard efforts. However, it is important that we strive to avoid complacency. So one must remember that success is not the last goal, it rather is the route mapped away thereafter. But whatever you must do, always have a vision for tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time. Have a nice day. Do comment if you have any suggestions and subscribe to Proverbs on Demand to get new proverbs daily. See you again next time.